So heading back to the dress again. Uh, I suppose because the dress is such a significant part of the illustration, it's definitely something I'm spending a lot of time trying to get right. Whereas, good old Sherlock Holmes, his suit jacket was, really I got that in pretty quickly. But yeah, the dress, particularly because of the materials of the dress, I'm really wanting to nail it. So it's just taking quite a bit of experimentation to just sort of get those folds looking the way that I want, and also the colours too. I'm really wanting to get a kind of a nice colour range within this white dress, so that it's not just solid white. Um, so at the moment, I'm just blocking in some of the more slowly starting to build up the highlights to a closer, stronger, whiter, opaque colour. Um, but I'm still carefully trying to leave some parts of the dress and back in the underpainting, which have got those cooler, purpler tones. And in fact, as you can see there, I'm reintroducing some of those purpler tones again, just to sort of try to keep those folds reading clearly. Something I also applied, as you've seen just a little bit earlier on, is passing through it, is I actually got a really large texture brush and just sort of did a soft texture over the whole of that lower dress, and I also did it over the floorboards as well, just to help sort of integrate it a little bit, and just soften it back a little bit. And now I'm working back over the top of that. That's the great thing with adding a little bit of texture um, to your paintings, and sort of applying it with a really big brush over large parts of your picture, maybe on quite a low opacity setting. It kind of helps integrate different elements of your picture to come together. So again, I'm getting um, a large brush. Now, before I was saying I don't use a lot of crazy brushes, though I certainly have a few on file, um, because there's on the original reference there's a really intricate band of lace work around the bottom of this dress, and it would take me forever to design some two-dimensional pattern work, and then apply it or draw it or transform it onto the bottom of the dress. And it's wasted as well, because ultimately you're wanting, because it's at the bottom of the picture, I'm wanting to indicate through detailing, sort of suggestive brushstrokes, that there's patterning down there, but I'm not really wanting to sit there and meticulously paint it in, like I did around the collar of her dress. So I'm just experimenting here with a couple of different approaches as to how I can cheat that kind of level of intricacy and detail, but very, very quickly. And something that I've decided to play with is I've grabbed one of my brush, my plant brushes, and sort of swept that round the bottom. And now all I'm doing is erasing back into that layer with more of bringing in some sort of floral vine work and sweeps, and basically just working my way around the picture. It's always really important to pull back from your illustration to make sure that things are reading correctly from a distance. Obviously, if you're painting this for real, you'd be stepping back from your canvas a good 3 or 4 feet or further probably, just to really make sure that things are reading right. I mean, a big part of what I'm trying to achieve here is the impression of detail. So it's important that from a distance I get the sort of density and the texture reading correctly. If it's too dense, then when it's printed at A4, it's just going to completely disappear, and for all intents and purposes might as well just about be part of the normal part of the dress. If it reads too strongly, then that's not good either. So it's a little bit of toing and froing in terms of just trying to get that level of density. So much of painting in general is creating contrast. It's whether it's light and dark, or a contrast in cold colors and warm colors, and contrast between large areas of detail versus, say, a small area of detail versus a large expansive area of no detail. And the dress is actually a good example of that. You've got this huge sweeping swath of cloth, and then sort of just the very bottom edge of it's got the detailing. So creating those contrasts helps provide visual interest to your picture, and depending on how you play with those contrasts as well, you can lead the eye around your picture, and using focal points as well.